In this podcast episode, Congressman Tim Burchett shares his perspective on the decades-long UFO mystery, government secrecy, disinformation campaigns, and the broader implications of these extraordinary occurrences. Burchett, a representative from Tennessee, speaks candidly about his journey into the subject, the resistance he's faced in Congress, and his convictions on the nature of these phenomena, and the institutional interests conspiring to keep the truth hidden from the public. Tim Burchett admits that UFOs were never a topic of casual conversation for him initially, and he approached the subject organically, starting from childhood curiosity fostered by rare visits to libraries in the 1970s. He recalls reading about UFOs alongside other mysterious topics like Bigfoot and the occult, and was fascinated by how ancient texts, particularly the Bible, appear to describe otherworldly phenomena. Burchett references the biblical story of Ezekiel's vision, interpreted by some to be a description of a wheel within a wheel, resembling modern flying spacecraft. This early intrigue laid groundwork for his later involvement in UFO-related congressional inquiries. Burchett explains that his attention to UFO disclosures intensified after seeing official reports come out heavily redacted and trivialized by the media. His public remarks, including one asserting that more Americans believe in UFOs than in Congress, sparked national attention. He was approached by reporters and citizens alike, eager for answers. This surge of public interest pressured the House, leading to some of the most attended hearings on UFOs ever held, with crowds lining the halls and participants from diverse backgrounds, including ministers and military veterans. The congressman shares multiple first-hand stories from constituents and colleagues, from a refined country club lady who witnessed a luminous cylindrical craft in the 1970s, to a Navy veteran recalling a gigantic, quiet, cylindrical object flying over nuclear missile unloading operations in the 1950s. These testimonies underscore that sightings are not isolated or fringe, but widespread and persistent, often involving credible military personnel. He recounts conversations with pilots and naval officers who describe craft operating at speeds and maneuvers far beyond known human technology, particularly sightings of underwater objects moving at remarkable velocities that current submarine technology cannot match. A central theme of Burchett's account is the existence of a long-term, calculated disinformation campaign by the U.S. government aimed at confusing and misleading the public. He asserts that many participants in this effort may be unwitting, caught up in a system designed to obfuscate the truth. The congressman posits that the key reason for secrecy is the threat that revealed advanced technology poses to entrenched interests, energy industries, war profiteers, and powerful defense contractors who financially benefit from current military paradigms. If technology that could provide free or near-cost energy existed, it would disrupt global economic and geopolitical dynamics, particularly those rooted in oil and weapons manufacturing. Burchett believes this network of interests, involving government officials, corporations, and related think tanks, keeps information compartmentalized and tightly controlled. UFO-related materials are spread across multiple agencies and private contractors, making it virtually impossible for any single entity, including Congress, to access the full picture. He also discusses how whistleblowers face career destruction, or worse, lacking adequate protection, resulting in many choosing exile over retaliation. The representative describes his legislative attempts to force transparency, including proposing simple bills that would release all government files related to UFOs unredacted to the public. He contrasts his approach with more complex, lengthy bills like that introduced by Chuck Schumer, which established commissions reminiscent of the Warren Commission and ultimately served to stall or cover up real disclosure. Burchett is cynical about the will within both Congress and the executive branch to reveal meaningful information, suggesting the entire process is a political charade sustained by special interests and a culture of secrecy. He voices frustration that leadership on both sides of the aisle appears compromised, often controlled or influenced by lobbyists and those with financial stakes in preserving the status quo. Insider trading among members of Congress is critiqued as a particularly egregious example of systemic corruption. Burchett admits that the difficult political environment, combined with a general lack of public engagement, only 12% voting in elections, enables entrenched, arrogant leadership to thrive despite failing to serve the public interest. Despite the risks, Burchett has been outspoken. Yet, he has faced both subtle and explicit pressures to silence or moderate his positions. He describes being warned off investigations or challenged for questioning financial appropriations and other contentious issues. Nevertheless, he continues to prioritize accountability and transparency, driven by a sense of duty to his constituents, many of whom feel ignored and disenfranchised by the federal government. On UFOs specifically, Burchett recounts multiple classified briefings where officials provide contradictory, dismissive, or incomplete information, often doing little more than reinforcing the official narrative that they don't exist or that there are no data points, despite public evidence to the contrary. He considers many such briefings to be performative rather than informative. Reflecting philosophically, Burchett expresses deep awe and humility toward the cosmos and the enigmatic objects witnessed by many. He does not believe these are terrestrial or foreign military crafts. Given the behavior and capabilities described, such as underwater vehicles moving faster than our submarines, silent and complex aerial maneuvers, he doubts earthly origin theories. He rejects the suggestion that adversaries like Russia or China possess such technology, reasoning their actions and military postures don't reflect such capabilities. He conjectures that these phenomena might be non-human or represent a form of advanced, possibly ancient technology as hinted by deep-sea sightings and historical references. Burchett also delves into scientific mysteries like quantum physics and instantaneous transmission, recognizing that current human understanding may be insufficient to explain what's observed. Importantly, he stresses that answers may lie beyond present human comprehension, perhaps revealed only in heaven. Throughout the discussion, Burchett intertwines insights on broader governmental dysfunction, corruption, and hypocrisy. He reflects on Congress's profound unpopularity, societal polarization, and security overreach. He condemns insider trading among lawmakers, lack of whistleblower protections, and the weaponization of political power for personal gain. He also addresses contemporaneous issues, such as primary challenges driven by billionaires against politicians who defy party or special interest orthodoxies. Regarding high-profile political controversies, Burchett defends former Congressman George Santos, suggesting that while Santos fabricated much of his biography, the severity of his punishment and isolation are disproportionate and serve as a scapegoat for the broader political elite. He contrasts this with the generally lenient treatment of more serious offenders and the systemic failures that plague the institution. In closing, Congressman Burchett expresses a mixture of skepticism, frustration, and cautious hope. He believes disclosure and resolution will likely only occur if there is genuine, high-level political will, perhaps with leadership willing to confront entrenched interests and tell the public the truth. Until then, he views current efforts as stalled, but remains committed to continuing the push for transparency and accountability. His faith and humility regarding the mysteries of the universe underscore a profound belief that humanity's understanding is limited, and the truth, whether about UFOs, government corruption, or national crises, must be sought relentlessly.